And here I have my fourth and final set of examples for the TVM solver. This one, we want to find the final balance with some kind of savings plan. So again, go into Applications, Finance, TVM Solver. And it says the interest is being compounded quarterly. I've got 1% compounded quarterly. So I% is going to be 1. P/Y, well, in part A, it says I make no additional deposits. In part B, it says I deposit an additional $50 each quarter, so that would be 4 times a year. And part C says, again, deposit each quarter. So we're going to have 4, and it is compounded quarterly, which is what we want. I want to know what the future value is. And the number of quarters in all of these is 5 years times 4 quarters per year, which is 20. For part A, I've got a present value of 2,000. Payment is 0 because I'm making no additional deposits. And I get $2,102.41. This is basically a compound interest problem. It is a straight 1% compounded quarterly with a principal of $2,000 because there's no payment. I could have done this problem with the compound interest formula. Part B says instead of opening the account with 2,000, I'm only going to open with 1,000. Oops, 1,000, not 1. But then I'm going to make $50 in payments. Didn't earn quite as much. Now this makes sense. I would expect, actually, to the nearest cent, that would be 32. This makes sense because the bank doesn't have as much of my money for as long. Still, total deposit is 2,000. But they don't have the full 2,000 for the full 5 years. So they're not going to pay me as much. Now C, I'm expecting, again, a little bit less. So for part C, it says I make no initial deposit, but I'm going to pay $100 a month. And that gets me $2,048 and 22 cents. So even though in all 3 of these cases I'm depositing $2,000, the bank is having the most money for the most amount of time in part A and the least money for the most amount of time in part C. So the amount of interest that I'm earning will go down.